I, 37 male. Don't know how to handle my unpredictable fiancée, 31 female, and her threats. Hi all. We have been together for 2 years, living together for 1, engaged for 9 months. Where we had been over the moon for each other while dating, things have slowly become more difficult and unpredictable over the past few months. The smallest things seem to send her into a total meltdown with me in the most unpredictable ways. Things may be fine, but then I'll suggest a beer garden and the night is suddenly ruined as I'm deemed selfish. We may have nice plans for a day out, but my 3 minutes of silence in the car is interpreted as being mad at her, and I'd better pull the car over right now and let her out here so she can walk home. I said I'd be upstairs in 5 minutes but really came up in 12. I'm told I'd better sleep on the couch because she doesn't want me near her. You get the idea. It's gotten to a point where I've learned to just not communicate, to constantly walk on eggshells and be on guard because I never know what might trigger an event. My friends joke that all couples fight, but these aren't fights. They're just me keeping my guard up at all times to be ready to play defense for the next time things melt down. In a funny way, I'd love to have fights, love to be able to express when I'm angry or bicker about things and then make up after. That would be a nice change of pace, if that makes sense. What has sent things over the edge are some recent threats. After a particularly bad weekend of meltdowns, we sat down and I told her I can't keep living like this. She told me in that moment that she's been thinking a lot about self-harm. How she knows she's not good enough for me. How she recently pulled her car in the garage in an attempt to self-harm, but then thought better of it. I took this very seriously. I offered to help her get help, to stay home with her that week if she felt she was a danger to herself, and I was waved off. Over the following days, any minor inconvenience, what to pick for dinner, for example, also included language of, "This is why I don't want to be alive anymore." Finally I approached her about it and said I was concerned. She told me to stop taking her so seriously and to stop being dramatic, and that my concern was making her want to self-harm even more. I consulted several mental health professionals and took their advice. I asked to join the next session with her weekly therapist to raise my concerns, which I did, and then left for them to continue having their session in private. Since then, she has been furious at me, telling me I went overboard, that it's clear I'm trying to make things selfishly all about me, which is why I made a big deal of talking to her therapist, that she doesn't even really think those things and was simply overtired when she said it. I'm really at a loss here. The threats of self-harm and prospect of losing her that way did a huge number on me emotionally. I want to get past it and move on, but I also feel like I'm taking crazy pills. If anyone has any advice or input on situations like this, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. If anyone has any advice or input on situations like this, I'd really appreciate it. The only thing we should be suggesting in regards to your post. Do not get married. She needs to sort herself out via therapy and you should be out of the picture until she is done. As of right now, your view for a long-term relationship with a person like this should be a full stop. The threats of self-harm and prospect of losing her that way did a huge number on me emotionally. Whilst it's often wise to take things seriously, maybe this was the plan all the time. Beat you down. Berate you until you become the timid, "Yes dear, partner." Which didn't work, so option 2, "I'll hurt myself if you leave." Whatever you do, at the very least put the brakes on and don't take the marriage step. If these things can be resolved, big if, and maybe not with you, then wait until it's fully resolved. But also ask yourself if it's worth it. It's one thing going down a tunnel that has light at the end of it, but it could also be a dead end. If it's pure intentional manipulation, then also be wary that, once pregnant, hello, stuck in dead-end tunnel. Do not have children with this person. She will treat them this same way. She tells you not to take her suicidal threats seriously and follows that up by saying your concern makes her want to hurt herself. She's sick. If she had an infection, she would go to the doctor. This isn't any different. Suicidal ideation is as serious as it gets. She needs a psychiatrist along with her therapist. I certainly wouldn't go forward with the marriage until she gets the help she so desperately needs. My girlfriend started a fight because I was too quiet on the ride back from a party. I knocked out of that relationship with 48 hours. My wife, 42F, is out of my league in every way, but I'm, 43M, the one who is unhappy. My wife and I have been together for almost 20 years. We initially fit together B.C. We were part of the same culty church and had a similar status there, but we have long since rejected religion and we no longer have much in common. She's now the sole provider while I stay home with the kids. It made sense for me to stay home. C have always been the more paternal and nurturing one, while she has been career-focused. She literally makes more than 20x what I was making at my last job. We need someone to stay home. C she travels for work about 50% of the time, and when she is home, she's a workaholic. The kids and I don't even expect to see her on most weekdays. I think I'm a decent father, but my wife and I no longer exist in the same world. I die inside whenever I have to interact with her peers. We live in a wealthy area where there are plenty of stay-at-home moms, but society just doesn't regard being a stay-at-home dad in the same way, so I feel like I have no value, except to our kids. I have no friends, siblings, or peers. My wife is also really attractive, while I'm just average. She's fun and social, while I prefer to keep to myself. She excels at everything, in and out of work, while I don't really excel at anything. All this should probably make me feel lucky and she should be dissatisfied, but somehow I feel empty while she seems perfectly happy. I think the main problem is that marriage just isn't a priority for her. She wants to be married and have a family, so I feel like I check that husband box for her, and I enable her lifestyle by caring for the kids, but her only real passion is for her work. Our marriage is painfully basic, but she's satisfied in it. C that's all she wants. I want to be in love with her, to pursue her, to enjoy spending time with her, but I can't if she's just not interested. Why bother going to marriage counseling if this is who she really is? I can't change her, and I don't want her to pretend to be someone she's not. Our sex life is a good example of this problem. We have sex about twice per month, and only when all the stars align and I play all my cards right. I'd be happy to be intimate every day, or satisfied with just once a week, but she has always had a lower libido. If I communicate that I'd like to have more sex, she'll go along with it, but it's no fun if she's not into it. I don't think we're really compatible as partners, but it feels insane to think that I would ever leave her. C she's great on paper, and I know I would have an impossible time finding someone else. She and the kids are happy, so I'm the only one feeling alone, and I'm convinced the grass would not be greener on the other side, so I maintain the status quo. What would you do in this situation? Thanks to anyone who read all of this. I don't know, friend, there's a lot to unpack here. Maybe start off with yourself. Not excelling at anything is a really rough way to feel about yourself. Also, if you have low self-worth, that will definitely impact all your relationships, including your marriage of course, but also extending to your neighbors, acquaintances. It sounds like you can afford daycare or help in general. Maybe get back to school or part-time work. Figure out what makes you feel good about yourself. You're placing your worth and happiness on external factors like your wife's success, society's validation of stay-at-home dads, and the frequency of your sex life. Your worth and happiness should come from within, and it's important to work on personal growth, self-acceptance, and finding meaning and purpose in life. Compatibility in a relationship is complex, and it's not just about having similar interests or hobbies, but also about communication, mutual respect, and a willingness to work together to overcome challenges. You should seek professional counseling to work on your self-esteem. Also, have open and honest communication with your wife about your feelings and concerns in the relationship. Couples counseling too. You should start seeing a therapist to figure out how to handle your situation and what you want to do about it. You sound as though you're depressed because you don't recognize your worth. You should understand that you bring a lot to the table. Stop caring about what society thinks of the situation or what the gender role should be. She may actually have her name on the paycheck, but your support enables her to do that. I am sure she appreciates it. I hope you do look into counseling. While I agree with what most people are saying about seeing your own self-worth, I think there is more to this than that. The thing that stuck out to me in your post is that your wife is a workaholic and most weekdays you and the kids don't even see her. That is completely unacceptable to me, and I can't believe everyone is glossing over this. I think you need to have a frank conversation with your wife and perhaps suggest counseling. She needs to find a better work-life balance. Does she contribute anything to the household besides a paycheck? If she were a man, I think the responses here would be completely different. There is more to being a spouse and parent than providing a paycheck. I personally couldn't be married to someone who didn't prioritize our relationship and family. I'm so tired of my 21 female boyfriend, 22 male body shaming me. I'm not tan enough, I have no ass, I have hairs, my bi nipples, why am I built like a little kid, the dark purple under my eyes makes it look like I've been punched in the face, my pores are big, my legs are too scrawny, my knees are gross, my nail beds are too short, I get acne. He said, "Why are your arms so small today? I have tears in my eyes and a knot in my throat. My arms were the only thing about me that I didn't hate. I'm just so fucking sad." Are body-shaming comments a valid reason to break up with someone? When is enough enough? What do I do here? Someone making you feel bad about yourself is a great reason to break up with them. He is breaking you down so you will never leave. This is abuse. This is a really great reason to break up with someone. See a therapist and work on your self-worth. Fuck that guy. Send him packing one. He's trying to destroy your self-confidence so you won't realize you're too good for him. No one who loves you is going to deliberately try to make you feel ugly. Tell him you've been keeping track of all the nasty things he said to you and you're sending his weak begging ass comments to his parents so they know what a failure they've raised. But seriously though, dump him. You'll be free. My 28M girlfriend's 23F gay friend told her friends I'm trying to sleep with him. My girlfriend has this friend who is not too close but close, probably a 7/10 in a closeness scale. He is gay and kinda slutty, sees a lot of guys and likes to have fun. That's fine with me, power to that. Anyway, me and my girlfriend were apart for some time and when we got back together she told me he once asked her if she'd be okay with him shooting his shot with me now that we were apart. I'm not going to lie, I was flattered, I think anyone would be. But I am not gay. Eventually we got back together after a year apart and we've been seeing each other for a couple of months, but just an hour ago she let me know that apparently, all of her friends think I'm secretly gay and trying to bang this guy because he told them so. She asked what was up. This guy, let's call him Alex, is not only the friend of my girlfriend but also friend of some other close friends of mine from way before I even knew my girlfriend. So I've always known him and though we have never been friends I did want to get to know him better at some point so we could all hang out together. Last month, he tweeted something about wanting to die, so I DM'd him and asked him if he was okay. He said yes, he was exaggerating and just stressed about a big decision he wanted to make. I didn't make much more conversation since I just wanted to reach out to an acquaintance that seemed upset. But he started messaging me more, asking how I was and where I was living, which I answered politely but wasn't too chatty. We happened to live very close to each other and he said we should party together sometimes and I said, sure, why not? My girlfriend is out of town and I'm trying to make new friends and get out more since while she's not around all I do is miss her and being alone. He said yeah def, let's go out, you'll feel better. I was being honest here, he is a friend of friends and even though I knew he at one point asked my girlfriend for permission to hit on me I didn't want to think he would not actually respect the relationship we had now or that me being polite had to mean I had any other intentions. Anyway, that's where the conversation ended for about a week. Then he texted me again once at 2 a.m. and asked, "You up?" I was but I didn't want to answer because it gave me a bad vibe. You up at 2 a.m. doesn't sound exactly friendly. So I waited until the next day. I replied, I was asleep, you okay? He answered, yeah, just was feeling crazy and wanted to ask if you wanted to go for a smoke. I didn't answer anything anymore at all, and I told my GF. I told her how I did text him first asking how he was when he said he wanted to kill himself. How I answered in a friendly manner when he started chatting and how I'm starting to think it's not actually friendly and it's inappropriate. She just laughed it off being like, oh classic Alex. Today, she told me she wanted to talk to me. Apparently, he has been telling their mutual friends I'm trying to get him to sleep with me and pushing for his attention. It honestly makes my blood boil. I have always been an advocate of gay and straight people being able to be friends without any other expectations or misunderstandings. That gay people should be able to be friendly towards straight people without them thinking there's more to it than that. And now it turns out me being friendly towards him means I'm hitting on him and trying to fuck him? I'm so pissed off. My girlfriend is trying not to stress too much but she obviously is and with a good reason. Right now either her friend is lying or I am. She told me if I was curious about my sexuality or experimenting or straight up gay it was fun but I had to let her know, and if it was a lie or misunderstanding, to be more careful. I told her it was a lie and how pissed off I was. We couldn't talk mature because she went to bed but right now I'm really pissed off and would like advice. I'm going to be honest here, I want to kick his ass. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt where maybe he misunderstood but I find it hard to believe and can't help but think he's just a mean, lying shit wanted to stir up drama for the heck of it, and that makes me want to fucking kick his ass. But I won't, I wouldn't. So that leaves me with two choices. Number one is just block him and move on. He's not really my friend, it doesn't really matter. My fear is, and maybe it comes from my insecurities, that I'm not really standing up for myself. I'm letting people talk and lie and think things that aren't there. Not only that I'm gay, which at the end of the day it doesn't matter, though I don't like the idea of people thinking things that are just not true. But worse than that, that people think that I would hit on anyone while I'm dating my GF, who I love very much. I have never cheated, and I don't think I ever will. And to have people spreading lies that make you look like a shitty person is infuriating. And I think my girlfriend believes me, but I also know it is something that will itch from time to time. The thought of, I know he wouldn't do that, but what if he would? And the fact that he caused that make me the most upset I've been in many years. My other option I can think of is talking to him. I'm mad and I want to tell him to fuck himself and how shit of a person he is. And that he is the reason people can't be nice to each other. How he is sexualizing me from me trying to be friends. I want to tell him and everyone else he is a lying asshole. I don't think he deserves to have a nice, calm chat, but that's what I would try to do. Ask him to see me. Let him know that it has come to my attention that people think I'm gay and that I think it may have to do with him, but maybe not. That I just wanted to make sure he understands that I am not gay, and that any conversation I've had with him has been me trying to make friends. That I hope there hasn't been a misunderstanding and that I'm sorry if there was, hoping we can be okay from now on. Of course, I have no intention to be okay with him and I couldn't care less about making him feel better or reassured or apologizing for any misunderstanding, since I think that is too much a stretch and he knew exactly what he was doing. But I'm trying to protect my girlfriend and myself, hoping that going for this Abe makes him realize what he did was wrong and maybe have him tell my GFS and his friends that he was wrong about me. It wouldn't matter to me if it was a rando telling other randos lies. But this is an acquaintance telling close friends lies about me that affect me and my GF, and they'll obviously believe these things are true and judge my relationship and tell my girlfriend to leave me because they heard it from someone who is their friend. Too long did not read. My GF's gay friend told her friends, but not her, that I'm trying to sleep with him, which is not true. I have talked to him trying to be friends and there's a slim chance he really misinterpreted things, but I think the most likely thing is he's doing it with malice. My girlfriend believes me but I can see it affects her and I don't know what to do to have things go back to normal without having to go tell each one of their friends, I'm not gay and I wouldn't cheat on my GF. Please believe me, I'm incredibly angry. What do you think? I really need advice. The only possibility that I can think of where he isn't necessarily lying is that he sees any kind of attention, even if it is meant friendly, as flirting or sexual interest. Which is really just kind of sad because that means that he probably has trouble making male friends. You could try talking to him, but for your ease of mind, you could stop talking to him and try to let it go. I think both are decent options. The important person here is your girlfriend and your relationship with her is the key. Ask her what to do about this, what she suggests you could do to stop it and offer her some suggestions that would work for her. Maybe she doesn't want to trap Alex in a lie or trying to break you up, but it does come across as that. You can pretend you are worried about him after that comment and you tried to reach out, which you did, and like any good deed it has blown up in your face. Getting her as an ally to you and enabling her form the response shows how much you trust her with your reputation and that you give her the tools to manage this. It doesn't hurt to give it a go and see where it leads. If you do end up talking to him, take a witness. Then he would spread lies about you stalking him or attacking him out of homophobia. Show your girlfriend the Mrs. Sages, block contact with him, and don't do anything that can be framed as a hate crime. This definitely sounds like ego stroking to me. I like the one person's idea of texting with your girlfriend and playing dumb. That seems like a winning strategy.